Hi my friends! Welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this video is how to speak English fluently in one day. It's a very short video but very informative at the same time. Okay, are you ready? I hope so. So, how long does it take me to start speaking English fluently? So it means how long time do I need really to start speaking? We usually say start doing something. How much time do I need to start speaking English fluently? A good question. Really, a good question. So it is said differently. It means that people say differently. It is said differently. But I have my own experience. So I have my story. I reached fluency in English within one day. So it means that I became fluent in English and it took me one day. How can it be? It's virtually impossible. So it's virtually impossible or it's almost impossible. Tell me about your experience, please. Well, I have a long story, but I'll try to make it shorter so that you can understand everything in a short period of time. Really, I'm not going to take your time, so try to be as short as possible. I just want to ask you several questions first. No problem. You're welcome. So, what did you do to have such a great result? Can I do the same? Sure, you can do absolutely the same, and I'm sure it will help you. You know, I used to learn lots of grammar. So used to, it means that you did it earlier. It means that I did it earlier. I did it in my past. I used to learn lots of grammar. I also worked on my vocabulary and listening skills. And I worked on my listening skills a lot. I spent lots of time on it. So my level was getting better and better. So getting or becoming better and better. So could you speak English fluently? Not really. The fact is that I could understand and answer. So, right, you haven't misheard me. So, misheard, it means that you haven't misheard me, you have heard me correctly. Yeah, really. I could understand and answer, but it isn't fluent English, So, I was able to understand everything thanks to lots of English listening practice. So, really, I had it and it helped me a lot. But I couldn't speak English effectively, so it was a real problem for me. What do you mean exactly? So you can say what do you mean, or you can say what do you mean exactly. So what do you really mean? What do you really mean? A good question. I mean that I could say just a couple of phrases. Maybe a couple of sentences, so a couple means two. For example, it was something like that. Do you speak English? Yes. Where did you study? Where did you study it? At school and university. Okay. And okay, what's wrong with this conversation? So what problems do we have with this conversation? Actually, it means actually or in fact nothing wrong, but it's very far from being perfect, so it isn't a perfect answer. So really, I could say just one or two phrases and sentences, and I knew. So the problem was that I really knew how to say everything. So but there was some kind of fear. So I was afraid and I couldn't open my mouth. So theoretically, I could say more than one or two phrases, but I couldn't. I don't know why. Maybe it was a language barrier. And really, I felt very stupid and uncomfortable. Okay. So it's quite easy to understand it. No one wants to feel this way. So right, I mostly had very short conversations. So they lasted for 2 minutes maximum. So I lacked practice. It means I didn't have enough practice. So did you try to take private lessons? Really a good question. A good question about private lessons. Well, I did. It helped me a bit, but then I gave it up. It means I stopped. I stopped it. So mostly for two reasons. So the first reason is that it was expensive. Yeah, you know, it costs money, not so little money for me, and I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford to take these lessons, or I couldn't afford to take these lessons, or I couldn't afford to take those lessons, yeah? Okay, on a regular basis. On a regular basis means regularly, so I couldn't afford, yeah? So it's better to say those, because it's about the past. Some people say this, but yeah, let's say it more grammatically correctly. So on a regular basis, we're talking about those lessons. Okay, so right. And you see, the second reason is that when you speak English with a teacher, it's another kind of conversation. I wanted to speak English with ordinary people and have a real English conversation, yeah, but not this format. I mean, student, teacher, I mean, I don't like this format, yeah. So I like it, but not absolutely. So to cut a long story short, yeah, what did you do after that? So what really helped you become fluent in one day? So what did you do? Well, it's what I'm talking about. I was fed up with my previous, let me call it, unsuccessful experience. So fed up with means I was bored with it, yeah, I didn't like it. I decided to make a change in my life. Change, really, I wanted to change something. What was it? And I'll tell you how it happened. So I went to one international conference and got to know one native speaker from the United States, yeah, from the United States, of course, from the United States. So it means that there was one international conference in our city, and I got to know one. It means that I met this person. I met a native speaker from the United States. He tried to communicate with other people, who were at that conference, but he was disappointed. He was very upset, yeah, because they couldn't understand him, and he couldn't speak normally with them, yeah, because of it. So the reason was poor listening skills, very bad listening skills. Yeah, he was very disappointed, and he couldn't find, a good speaking partner for him. Yeah, I think they understand it. Oh, really? Yes, that's it. Luckily, so it was really good luck. I had perfect listening skills, and I was able to understand everything he was saying. Yeah, really. He was really surprised. Yeah, he was shocked and pleased. So it was the following. So yeah, the following thing happened. I asked him and answered using simple and short phrases, as I was used to doing it. Yeah, really, I was used to doing it. So if it's our habit, we use the structure used to doing something. I was used to doing it, so it was a normal practice for me, yeah, just to ask, simple questions and to answer, those questions using simple words and phrases. But the main difference is that our conversation was much longer than 2 or 3 minutes, right? Okay, but there are some more things I'd like to tell you. So really, our conversation was really long. I showed him around that place and we discussed many things, simple and more difficult ones, yeah? So that experience was new for me. I mean, having a long conversation, a really long conversation with a native speaker. I had never had such kind of practice. So how can you say it another way? So yeah, what do you mean? So the thing is that most people have got used to having short conversations, yeah, but it isn't so good for fluency. You don't have enough time to feel real confidence, to be really sure that, yeah, you can speak English fluently. You need, longer conversations. I remember one of my students, and she really wanted to improve her English greatly, so mostly speaking and reach complete fluency in English. So she really wanted to improve her English greatly, and what did she do? She asked me for daily lessons, which lasted for 4 hours without a break. Yeah, really, yeah, really. So just imagine it. So she wanted to study English daily, and she took, these English lessons, or one English lesson lasted for 4 hours without a break, without any breaks at all, only English, just imagine it. So we had great lessons, they're still in my memory. Her result was unbelievable, so you need to have one very long conversation to become fluent. Okay, with the teacher, I think it's good if it's a native speaker and he or she isn't your teacher to have a real English conversation. So if it isn't possible, try to have longer conversations anyway. So it's the crucial point. It's the most important point, yeah? You need to be in this, English speaking atmosphere for a long time and you'll feel wings to fly, yeah? Really, it's an amazing feeling. Okay, really, wings and you'll fly, yeah? Good comparison. So what else can you say? That native speaker praised my English a lot, so it's a very important thing too. So it gave me confidence, so I felt confident. So I lost fear and started using them very effectively. Yeah, I started using actually different phrases very effectively. I was speaking English so naturally that I couldn't believe my eyes. So if your speaking partner tells you how good your English is, it's also a very big plus, yeah? So really you need to improve your listening skills a lot, so you'll hear some compliments about your English and really you'll feel wings to fly. It's also important thing when someone praises you, so it really motivates you greatly. So motivation is unbelievably great when you hear it, when you hear such positive words and phrases. Okay, thank you very much, my friends. So I really try to do my best, yeah, to get my message across. Thank you. See you. Hi, my friends. Welcome to the channel English Professionally. And this video is how to learn 50,000 English words. Right, not 5,000, but really 50,000 English words. Just imagine it, okay? So really, let's talk about it. So it's a very important subject, okay? So is it a joke? No, I'm really serious about this idea to learn 50,000 English words, and I know that it's possible. Really, I'm serious, it's possible to learn it, and I really think that we need to know. So 50,000 English words or more, and I'll tell you why, okay? So don't you think that it's enough to know, let's say 2,000, maybe 3,000 English words? Why do I need so many words, and how can I really learn it? Really a good question, okay? So thanks a lot for your questions. So you really asked them in the right place and at the right time, as they say, yeah, a good phrase, in the right place and at the right time, as they say, or as people say, yeah. I'll tell you the most important secrets of learning such a number of English words and why you really need it. So really, most people don't understand that they need such a number of English words, so they think, okay, so 1,000 is enough, 2,000 is enough, or 3,000 is enough, but in fact it isn't. And so okay, let's get it started. So the thing is, yeah, a nice phrase, the thing is, there is a widespread belief, so most people believe so, most people think so. You need to know about 2,000 or 3,000 English words to know English. Yeah, I think that most people tend to think so. The fact is that it's enough for basic purposes. I mean, for basic purposes or for basic aims. Yeah, so if you want to speak English, but you don't want to know English really well, you don't want to know English perfectly. So, and in fact, I have to tell you one more important thing. So, only the knowledge of these words means nothing. Yeah, only the knowledge of these words means nothing, okay? So, you can know 3,000, you can know 50,000 English words, but only the knowledge of these words, when you know the translation of these words, isn't enough. It's nothing, yeah? And what do you need to do? You need to be able to do much more. In fact, you need to know how to use them, and you should do it spontaneously and naturally. So it's a very important thing. So you need to know how to use them, in what context, in what situations, and you should do it naturally and spontaneously like native speakers of English. So people who were born, let's say, in England or America. So good. Why do you think it isn't enough? If you know approximately this number of words, so approximately means about, maybe a little bit less, a little bit more, this number of words, 2000 and 3000, and you can use them effectively in your speech, so you can use them quite well in your speech. It means that your level is about intermediate. It's about intermediate, yeah? It's intermediate, or it's only this level. To have an advanced level of English, you need to know at least means minimum 10,000 English words. Yeah, I believe so. At least minimum or more. And basically, I believe so. This number is about, actually from 10,000 to 30,000 English words for strong advanced students. Yeah, this number of words. So 2,000, 3,000, it's too little. Just for basic English conversation. Yeah, it isn't enough. Yeah, really, it's important. Okay, so all right. Why are we talking about 50,000 English words, really? So we've talked about, 10,000, maybe 30,000, but why, really? Why are we talking about 50,000 English words? Actually, there is one more level which is higher than advanced. So it's called proficiency. Really? So it's an interesting fact. Again, so most people think that, okay, so I want to know English well, so then they look at different levels and they say, oh, so I can have an advanced level, so it's a great idea, and so my aim is to reach an advanced level. And so they think about it quite often, but they don't realize that it isn't the highest level. It isn't the highest level. There is one more high level. Yeah, we called it proficiency. So what does it imply? Or what does it mean? What does it imply, or what does it mean? It implies, or it means, that you know English like an educated native speaker. Yeah, so it's a very important thing, not just like a native speaker, but like an educated native speaker. So it's really a very high level. It's a completely different level, and it's another stage. It's another level. It's another stage. Could you clarify this point, or could you say it more clearly? So really, what does it mean? What does it mean? So to know English like an educated native speakers. And yeah, let's get back to our discussion. Okay, I hope you won't deny the fact. You won't deny the fact means you won't say no. Yeah, it's very easy to get an elementary level, so it's very easy, to have a basic level, so you can do it within a very short period of time. It means that, so really, if you haven't learned English, so you can have a basic level actually in a very short period of time, or within a very short period of time you can do it very fast. So by the way, it's more difficult to reach the next level, so it's a fact. So okay, maybe it took you a month or 2 months or maybe less time to reach an elementary level. Yeah, so you want to have the next level, pre-intermediate, and the fact is it's more difficult to reach the next level, which pre-intermediate, as it takes more time and energy. So it can take 3 times longer or so, or 4 times longer. So if you want to have a strong intermediate level, it's another big challenge, or it's another big task. Yeah, it's another maybe big plan problem. So in fact, it's several times more difficult to know English at this level. Yeah, we say at this level, at a certain level. So it's really difficult, to get an intermediate level. Yeah, and the most difficult thing is, to move further, or to move ahead to get the next level. Yeah, so okay. I got it, so I got it or I understood it. So as far as I understand, so really I understand it this way, it's more and more difficult to get the next level, Yeah, right, yeah. If we try to be realistic, yeah, so let's be honest, yeah, honestly, or frankly speaking, most students have a pre-intermediate level, so it's a fact, pre-intermediate. So few people reach an advanced level, so not so many people, so maybe 5%, maybe 3%, you know, it isn't such an easy thing. So, and the question is, why do they have this level? Why do they have this pre-intermediate level? Don't they want to have an advanced level? They want, but it's much more difficult. So it's very difficult. I mean, to get a level which is higher than intermediate is very difficult, yeah, because it's much more work. So, and really it's extremely difficult to reach an advanced level. So it's a lot of work. It's lots of work. Okay, good. So what about proficiency? Yeah, we talked about it. It's much more difficult than having an advanced level. So really, okay, so you know that you can have an advanced level, but you know, to reach this level, proficiency, it's you know, it's such a big challenge. So it can take you years. It can take you years and many years. And really, how many words you need to know English like an educated native speaker? And how many words do you know in your native language? So how many words? So I think it's more than 100,000, yeah, more. Okay, so you understand that if you want to know English perfectly, to understand everything, so different phrases in any situation, so 99%, 99% or 100%, yeah, not just 90%, 80%, if you understand 80%, 85%, so 90%, you feel uncomfortable because you don't understand some important points. Okay, you understand, I mean, most of this information, but it isn't everything. But if you want to understand everything in any context, so you need to know more. And I believe it's about this number, so 50,000 English words. And you see that to know English perfectly, I mean, 50,000 English words isn't such a big number, and it's real to learn them, really. So you said, so that maybe you know 100,000 words in your native language. So if you want to know English perfectly, so this number is okay. So I see your point, and I really want to have this level. What should I do for it? Do I need to take a list of most common 50,000 English words and learn it? So it's really a good question. So most people think, so okay, I'll take a list of most common English words and I learn it very quickly. Okay, so we should say the following. Well, it won't help you. It won't help you. Won't means will not. You can refresh your knowledge. So refresh your knowledge means you can remember, yeah, what you learned earlier, looking at a list of most common English words with examples if you have already met the most part of them. And this method is really good. So let's look actually at our channel. So we have a list, you know, of 2,000 most common English words, 2,500 English words. So the lists are quite good. So if you really want, I mean, to refresh your knowledge and you know maybe 85% and 90%, 80%, but not less. So if you know less, you need to work more and more. So it won't help you. Okay. So especially if it's about this list. I mean, list of 550, yeah, not 550, you know, 1,000 English words. And if these words are new for you, yeah, if these words are new for you, yeah, so mostly new, it won't lead to anything good. So you won't have a good result. So really, it's I think it is an irrational way of learning English. So you need to learn them only in context, okay? Are there special techniques or are there special methods so how we can learn it really effectively? I believe I should start reading something in the original, and I'll understand all these words in context. Yeah, so most people think so. Okay, really? So I just need to take a book. Yeah, and we often hear these kind of things as you need to start reading something in the original and you'll understand everything. I don't agree with it. It's a myth, really. This thought is very naive, so it isn't serious, it isn't objective. You can do it for your level. You can do it if your level is advanced. So if your level is advanced, yeah, you can take a book in the original and you can understand a lot, yeah, looking at the context. If not, it won't help you. So it will be a complete nightmare. It will be a terrible thing. So if not, you need to learn simplified books, yeah, for each level first. You need to start with simplified materials. It's an important thing. So only this, not only. And actually, to enlarge your vocabulary, you need to learn special materials on vocabulary, special books on vocabulary. So for different levels and for advanced levels, for proficiency level 2. So it's a faster way. Only reading without explanations isn't enough. So you need to learn special books on vocabulary for higher levels too. So, and not only reading, so reading and listening. Okay, so what else? You also need to read a lot. So, and that's, now I'd like to give you actually some important tips. I remember that I decided to read, to read one English book a week in the original, yeah. So my level was advanced, or shown upper intermediate, but I think it was advanced, yeah, in the original, and I did it. So I chose different materials, so which were interesting for me, only modern English, and I improved my vocabulary greatly. So, and actually, so reading 100 pages a day wasn't impossible. So it was possible to read 100 pages a day. So it was such a big challenge. So I did it. So okay, so I have a plan. So I have to read 100 pages today. Okay, no problem. So I have to do the same tomorrow. 100 pages again, it's a lot. Yeah, just imagine it. So if you look at 1 month, it's 3,000 pages. It's lots of words, lots of vocabulary. And in fact, it accelerated the process of getting to know more English words. So it accelerated the process, yeah, actually of learning these English words. It's an important thing, yeah. Okay, but maybe you have this kind of question. So it's a good idea, but only in theory. So I can't read so many pages a day. So I often hear it. And I can tell you the following. Look, I know how you can solve this problem. Don't worry. You need to choose a suitable level for you. It's your key to success. You need to meet maximum 10 new words on one page. So really, students often ask me, so what book should I read? So I believe so it's maximum 10 new words on one page, maximum 10 new words. So maybe 5, 10, not more. If it's more, it means, yeah, it isn't your level. And you need to use other materials. So, and start with adapted materials. Then choose more and more difficult ones, more and more difficult materials. So the problem is that you can't read maybe 50 pages a day or 30 pages a day because, this information is too difficult for you. Actually choose, suitable materials for you. Where you will know most of these words, 95% of these words, or maybe 98%. And it will be a pleasure for you. It will be a pleasure for you to read these materials. Okay, good. So, do I need to train a lot? Absolutely. Reading a lot should be your habit. If you think that you can't read a lot because you meet too many new words and you get bored with it very quickly, it's only an excuse, really. Open your eyes, my friend, open your eyes, okay? So it only means that you've chosen the wrong materials not suitable for your level, really, because really if you understand everything, so these materials are quite simple, it will be a pleasure for you to read them, and you'll read easily, 20 pages a day, 30 pages or 40 pages a day, no problem at all. So actually the biggest problem is that most students choose inappropriate materials, so not good enough, yeah. So they want to learn everything and in a day or in 2 days. No, just okay, wait a bit. I see. So learning English should be for pleasure. It's an advantage if you can listen to what you read, especially at the beginning of your way. It's an advantage if you can listen to what you read. Yeah, really, it's a big advantage. You need to read and listen, especially at the beginning of your way. And really, I don't understand why students only read if the level is low. They need to listen a lot, listening and listening. So, and if your level is low, then upper intermediate. So I believe only reading is so ineffective. Actually, you don't really know. So how ineffective it is. Listen and listen all the time and read. Listen all the time and read. It's very important. So only reading, it's it's something actually which relates to our previous generation, I believe, maybe to the 20th century, but not to the 21st century. So it's an old method of learning. So replace it, listen more and more. And I have to tell you some more very important tips. Really, don't you understand? Only reading is a very slow way. The fact is that if you are going to learn 50,000 English words or more, you need to spend a lot of time on English, a lot of time on it. And obviously, it's clear or it's obvious you don't have so much time. You don't have so much time, really. It can be a big problem for you. Okay, where can I find so much time to learn, so many English words? And I can tell you the following. So what should I do in this case, it's your question. And the most important tip, and few people, maybe almost no one knows it, but you will know it. You need to have perfect listening skills. To learn these number of words or more, so that you can listen to English while doing something else. Okay, I think that you knew it. Actually, it isn't a new thing for you, but actually, let's go further. And you need to understand new English words in the context, but not only in the reading context. This way isn't perfect. Your aim is to be able to catch, to understand the meaning of new words in the listening context. It's a very important thing. So when actually we hear, okay, understand English words in context, students think only about reading context. It's wrong. It's very slow and it isn't so professional because we don't have so much time, so we can't spend hours reading. But we have time, to listen to different things while doing other things, and you need to understand the meaning of new words when you listen is the most important thing. And to achieve this, you need to have an advanced level of English, and then you'll be able to do it, but you need more and more listening practice. Keep this very important point in mind. So I think no one knows about it, but it's really the most important thing. So we don't have so much free time, so we can't learn these 50,000 English words only by reading. So we don't have so much time. It's impossible, but we can do it while listening, but we need to listen to more advanced materials. And to do this, you need to improve your level first, listen more. So learn English words in context, but not only in the reading context. It's very slow. In the listening context, both reading and listening context. Okay, my friends, I really hope that this information is extremely useful and you'll follow these tips to reach this level, proficiency. Thank you very much, my friends, and good luck. Hi, my friends. Welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this video is for you and it's extremely important. It's how to speak English fluently. One easy way. So really there is an easy way how you can do it. Okay, really, let's talk about it. So I'm absolutely delighted to talk to you. A good phrase, so you know that we focus on English speaking practice, we also focus on grammar, vocabulary, and we discuss very interesting things. So I'm absolutely delighted, so I'm very pleased to talk to you. So it's really a very good idea, it's a very good chance, or it's a very good opportunity. I'm absolutely delighted to talk to you. Nice phrase. So welcome. I'm really glad to help you. I've been teaching English since I was 17, so it means that I started teaching English when I was 17. And I'm really proud of my students' achievements or of my students' results. Yeah, of my students' results. So the results are great, so, and it's a reason to be proud of. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? So really, tell me how to become fluent in English really fast. What should I do? So what is this easy way? So really, there is a lot actually said about it, and we need actually to find out all the truth. Good. Okay, so I have a question for you. Have you read or heard about it? Have you read or heard something about, how to become fluent in English, how to speak English fluently? So what do you know about it? Sure, a lot is said about it. So a lot is said, means people often say about it something, say something about it, they talk about it a lot. And I mostly hear some tips or advice from native speakers of English and from non-native speakers of English too. So it's the opposite thing. So native speakers and non-native speakers of English too. So I tried to follow them. It means that I tried to follow these tips, but I do feel means I really feel I need to improve my method. So I need maybe to test something different. So I need to try maybe one more method, interesting and effective method. So what can you say about it? What can you say about it really? So how can I do it? What should I do? Well, so the fact is, yeah, good phrase, that it's very easy to advise something, or it's very easy to recommend something for native speakers, yeah, but there are some unanswered questions. It means that, so yeah, we often hear different, recommendations, we hear some advice, yeah, but actually it isn't so clear. And so there are some important aspects I'd like to draw your attention to. I'd like to draw your attention to them. So what do you mean? So the problem is that when you hear different recommendations from native speakers, you need to understand that they were born in an English-speaking country, and they learned English another way, not like you. So they learned English another way. And most importantly, and the most important thing, that they don't have experience of learning English. They don't have experience of learning English, yeah, like non-native speakers actually do. It's a very important thing. So when you hear, different recommendations, please keep in mind this fact. So is it really suitable for you? Yeah, it's a very important point. Is it important? Extremely important. So extremely important means it's very, very important, okay? Just imagine this situation. Really, let's imagine this situation. There are two people who know English perfectly. So, they both have an advanced level in English, so a strong advanced level, so it's called proficiency. The first person has lived in England or America all his life, so he is a native speaker, while the second person has learned English as a second language or as a foreign language. Who can help you more to speak English fluently and correctly? Yeah, why am I asking you this question? So the problem is that mostly people mostly listen to native speakers of English, and actually they take everything for granted. So it's a nice phrase, they take everything for granted. It means that they believe everything, but they don't really understand how it works, really. And okay, let's answer this question, because there are some very important points. So you need to know who can help you more to speak English fluently and correctly. So I think a native speaker. So really, it's good. Why do you think so? Really good. So if you have some practice with a native speaker, it's great. It's great. but there are disadvantages of it, there are some minuses of it you need to know, and there are other more effective ways, I would say, what you can do and what you can do for free, and we'll be covering these points in this video lesson. Yeah, but just let's develop this idea. So why do you think so? I can hear lots of natural speech full of useful expressions. So it's it's a very common reason. So people say, okay, so we need to actually to listen to natural English. We need to listen to natural phrases and expressions. Because, you know, if we look at non-native speakers of English, they often use unnatural phrases and unnatural expressions. Yeah, but if you actually have this idea in your mind, I have a question. So if these people, if both these people, I mean, if they have a strong advanced level, so it's called proficiency, and they know English perfectly, and if this non-native speaker of English knows English perfectly, what's the problem? He also uses natural phrases, natural expressions. It's the same. It's the same. But the difference is that he has learned English like you, and he knows about the methods of learning English. What's extremely important. So, my level is about intermediate, and I want to have advanced English speaking practice. These are my main reasons. So it's a good idea, but you know that so it's very difficult to find a native speaker to talk to, yeah? And so if you want to have advanced English speaking practice, you need to have an advanced partner. I mean, a partner who has an advanced English level, and it's okay. And it's okay, so it can be a native speaker or a non-native speaker. It's okay too. So you see. And I want to tell you that it's quite understandable, so it's easy to understand it, it's easy to understand your point of view, and I share your view. It means that I agree with you. I share your view that we mostly catch real language from native speakers. It's a very important point. Yeah, but you don't need to pay all the time and everywhere to catch these natural phrases. You just need to listen to real English. Yeah, and you can do it online. So why are you so sure that you just need to pay for it? Yeah, and I want to tell you the following. That yeah, it's an important point, but don't think that 5 or 10 English conversations with native speakers will help you a lot and you learn all the necessary phrases for a fluent English speech. No way. So really, no way. Do you know how many topics exist? So maybe you can, you know, speak about sport. You can talk about sport, 1 lesson or 2 lessons, maybe then, you know, about weather and so on. But there are thousands and thousands of topics. It's thousands and thousands of lessons, and there are more and more difficult situations. It's a lot. So only these lessons won't help. It's too little. It's too little, and no. So what does it all mean? What does it all mean? Please correct me if I'm mistaken. Really, please correct me. So maybe my idea is wrong. Yes, just, you know, I tried to express my idea, tried to express my point of view. So if you have a different idea, please let me know, or if you agree, please write about it in the comments too. Yeah, correct me if I'm mistaken, but from my own experience, I can tell you the following. So I have some experience, yes, I want to tell you the following thing. So right, I've come to the following conclusion. Yeah, I've come to the following conclusion. It means that I have these conclusions, so I have something to tell you. If you just need fluency, if you need to speak English fluently, it means fast, without thinking a lot, yeah, and spontaneously, it's a great idea to practice English with a native speaker. It's a great idea. So you have lots of English speaking practice, it's okay. So if you live in an English speaking country, it's great. Yeah, it's great. Why not? But the thing is that it can't replace your educational process completely. So, and it isn't only because, you know, it's expensive. So there are some problems too, which actually you need to work on. So yeah, you can pay a lot of money for it, but I'm sure that you'll get actually a result which you really want. Are you so sure? So I'm not so sure, and I'll tell you why. So is that it can't replace your educational process completely. So and as far as I understand, yeah, to become fluent in English, I need to have lots of practice with native speakers. So it's one way, yeah, we actually just talked about it. So really, to have so much English practice, if you really need to have lots of English speaking practice, you need to live in an English speaking country. But this method isn't for everyone, really. So if you actually take some private lessons, so it isn't enough. So it's good, but it isn't enough. So if you really want to have lots of practice, you need to live, you know, for example, in England, America, Canada, or yeah, in countries like this. And you see that it can be for half a year, you know, for a year, for 2 years. So, but not for a week or 2 weeks. It's, I mean, it's still little. But this method isn't for everyone. Yeah, most students can't do it for many reasons. So, firstly, maybe they can't afford it, so it's expensive, and maybe they can't leave their family, they can't leave their home, and other problems. And so, really, why should you do it if there are more effective methods? And you can actually learn English quite comfortably, sitting actually on your chair. Why not? And yeah, moreover, it costs a lot. It costs a lot. So I absolutely agree. Yeah, I think that you absolutely agree. And I also have to tell you that you can pay for private lessons with native speakers. Yeah, it's good. So if you have money, no problem. You can take English lessons. So I believe that there are two ways. So it can be a non-native speaker of English who has a very high English level, so a strong advanced English level. So the problem we have that there are lots of teachers who don't have this level, so the English level isn't so high, it's really low, and it's a problem. So only a strong advanced English level, and not just words. I mean that he should confirm his knowledge, maybe he has an international certificate or so, but not just words. So only words mean nothing, yeah? It's an important point. Or so he or she must be a native speaker. So if you have money, why not? It can be good for additional practice, why not? So it can improve your fluency, but it won't solve all your problems completely. It's good, but it isn't enough. So you can pay money, but you'll be still having problems. How can it be? How can it be? And really, how can you actually reach real fluency in English? So as I know, so there is one important problem. Really, as I know, native speakers mostly have an interesting conversation, but they don't correct all your mistakes. It's a real problem. So you can have an interesting conversation, but are you sure that all your mistakes will be corrected? So naturally, I have the following question. So you can improve your fluency, but do we need our speech full of mistakes? Yeah. So, and I know that I can tell you from my experience that actually your big mistakes will be corrected, but not all the mistakes, and you won't know that, and you won't know, it means you will not know that your English is incorrect. So it's a terrible feeling. So I haven't thought about it. I know that students make lots of mistakes, but should they be left uncorrected? So I believe you need to understand that your English is correct, and if your English isn't correct, if your English is incorrect, you also need to know it. Why should you have your speech full of mistakes? Really, I can't understand it. And I believe the real aim of a teacher isn't just to spend time with the student, having a lovely conversation and getting money for it. Yeah. So a student must understand what mistakes he makes. He or she should know all his mistakes so that he or she can improve. Really, no, it's just an illusion. You just imagine it. Okay, so you spend time with a native speaker, you talk about something, so okay, just it's it's a good practice for fluency, but you make mistakes. So actually, I can't say that all of them are corrected. Maybe 10% or so. And what is it? So is it a real, a phenomenal result? I doubt. How can it be if it's actually full of mistakes? I mean, if a speech is full of mistakes? No. Doesn't it happen? Really, based on many real situations, it doesn't happen. It means that we actually observe this situation again and again. So you can learn some natural phrases from native speakers, but it isn't enough. It's too little to have a natural English speech and speak spontaneously in all possible situations. Simply enough, it's impossible. Really, sometimes you can actually, just buy this course and you'll speak English fluently. But this course maybe contains, 100 phrases, 200 phrases. It's too little. Actually, if you know these phrases, it isn't enough. It isn't enough. It's too little. So fluency in English isn't about it. It won't help you. It won't help you a lot. So what can we do in this situation? So don't fall into the trap of thinking that you can become really fluent in English this way. So don't fall into the trap of thinking. It means don't think. Don't think, don't think, and many people think about it, and it's a mistake, but don't think that you can become really fluent in English this way. It's a big lie. So it's a big lie, really. People lie, and I think you know it. Not all people honest. So it's a big business. It's a big business. It's a big lie. It's a big business, and people sell their secret course or secret courses, investing lots of money in advertising. Yeah, and it's a real pity to see that a person or his progress isn't interesting for them. So do you think that really you are interesting for them, or your progress is interesting for them? Are you so sure? Maybe you just actually a tool in their hands, and they make money because of you. Really, what is interesting? Your money and your pocket. So, and usually how it happens, so people start describing some secret methods which can really help you, and only these methods work. And as for me, I believe that you should use a combination of different methods. I'm not telling you that my method is perfect, no. Just you can try different methods, you can compare them and see where you make real progress. Yeah, okay, and they start describing some secret methods which can really help you become fluent, and only this thing can help. So there are two possible ways which are often advertised. So you need to pay for a secret course. So this course is really good. It's such a wonderful opportunity, such an amazing opportunity. Don't miss this course, only now, 50% discount or so. Well, so there is lots of useful stuff which is free online, and I just don't understand why people pay. Yeah, just I see lots of victims of advertising. Victims, I mean people who suffered from advertising, so because of advertising, victims. So, and you need to take lessons. So actually a lot is said about it. Just you need to take lessons, pay money, and I often hear, so if you want to know English, you need only to pay. You only need to pay. No, my friends, no, you don't need to pay. You can learn English for free. There are millions and millions of examples, and I hope there will be billions of examples soon. It's possible. You don't need to pay. It's an illusion. So yeah, let's actually do something about this lie. And what's your idea? So I believe it's expensive, yeah, and often ineffective. Yeah, it can be, yeah. It can take place, yeah, for additional practice, for extra practice, but most importantly, it's a slow way of improving your English if you use only these methods. So one English course, short English course won't help you a lot. So are you sure that your English will be correct? Absolutely correct? I doubt. So you shouldn't take everything for granted. You shouldn't believe everyone and everywhere. So listen, you need to listen to non-native speakers of English too, who have come a long way to reach proficiency in English, who have reached a strong advanced level. It's a very important thing, because they really know how to learn, and they have learned the language like you. Really, I see, don't ignore their experience. They really know what structures and methods you need to use. Learning a foreign language isn't so easy. Personally, I just can't understand, and really it's difficult for me to understand how a person can teach English if he or she hasn't really learned it. Really, if I just can't understand it. So okay, so maybe it's easier to have a conversation. So in my mother tongue, it's easy, but how can I teach English if I haven't learned it? So, it's very difficult, and there isn't enough understanding of students' needs. It's actually, we also often see it among native speakers. So, okay, so it's easy to have a conversation, but what about a really effective method of learning? What about grammar structures, grammar? What about actually experience, successful experience of learning? Where is it? So really, I can't understand it. Okay, so it's just my idea. So maybe you have a different idea, but it's very really so. And the question was so a native speaker or a non-native speaker of English. So it's your choice. But I believe that you need to know something which can really help you become fluent in English, and we'll talk about it quite soon in more detail. With more details. So okay, so trust professional experts. Don't think that buying English courses or taking English lessons will solve all your problems immediately. No. Okay, what are other alternatives? So to become fluent in English, you need to hear lots of natural English speech. So when you take an English lesson, it's just 1 hour or just 1 hour and a half. But you can listen to it for free. Just turn on the radio or watch some programs and watch it with subtitles first. And really, it's an amazing practice. You need to hear lots of natural English speech. So interesting as it may seem, you don't need to pay for it. We live in the 21st century, only this. And there is one more important thing. So the most important thing, so really an easy way. So there is one more important point. So this easy way is about it too. You need to know grammar perfectly. So really, I don't understand. So I mean that so native speakers, as I know, mostly focus on fluency, and actually they pay little attention to grammar. But it's such a terrible feeling to think, oh, so maybe the sentence is correct, maybe it's incorrect. And it causes actually lots of confusion. And I feel so confused, uncomfortable, and awkward. So you see, I don't really like it. So I need to be sure that my English is correct. So if I have this feeling, so my English will be really fluent. Otherwise, I'll have this kind of fear of this kind of confusion, embarrassment. It's terrible. So only if your grammar is good enough, you can be sure that your English is good. And it will give you more confidence, and you won't be afraid of speaking. So you need to work on your grammar, and you need to improve all aspects of grammar, not only tenses. So people think, okay, we need to learn English tenses and that's it. No, just I believe maybe it's 10% of English grammar. Right, and the most important thing, so if you follow these tips and other tips on our channel, I think that you won't look awkward, or uncomfortable or embarrassed. And you won't feel embarrassed, and you won't be in clumsy situations anymore, so in funny situations which you don't like, which you want to avoid actually happening. Okay, thank you very much, my friends. Thanks for attention. So I really hope that you like this video, so you can share it with your friends, and just actually I look forward to your comments, to your feedback. Thank you very much, my friends, for your great support. Thank you. See you.